Hello and welcome to the Wine Turtle YouTube channel. My name's Jamie and I'll be your host as we taste and review popular wines from around the world. Today we have the first Zinfandel review on the channel. This is the Seven Deadly Zins Old Vine Zinfandel from Lodi, California. Now this is made by the Micheal David Winery, who also make the very famous Freak Show series of wines, and also the Sixth Sense Syrah. Now, the Seven Deadly Zins hails from the Lodi appellation in California. This area is well known for its Old Vine Zinfandel vines, where the Mediterranean type climate lends itself to juicy, full-bodied wines. The 7 in the name is actually a reference to the 7 vineyards growing Old Vine Zinfandel that contribute fruit to this wine. But it's not actually a single varietal wine. It's composed of 80% Zinfandel, 11% Petit Verdot, 9% Petit Syrah, and also a mixed red combination. I'm not sure why they can't tell us what these grapes are, even though they contribute just a small amount to the blend. Why not name them? It's a bit strange in my opinion, but each to their own. So let's get tasting and see how this wine fares. It's a dark ruby in colour with thick, slow-moving tears coating the walls of the glass, indicating a full-bodied wine. So it's very juicy and fruity and jammy smelling. We knew this, we expected this. The fruit is from a fairly warm region, and the grape as well is known for this type of character. So we've got some red cherry and some jam, some raspberry jam, with a little bit of cedar and a little bit of blackcurrant. It's all fairly simple, fairly straightforward. There's no real complexity here. It smells pleasant. It's juicy and ripe. It smells like it'll be a fun one to taste. But let's find out. So we've got a very fruit-forward wine. Some black cherry with some blackcurrant and a slightly tart raspberry. This is a note that's developed over 24 hours. When I initially opened the wine yesterday, it was very ripe, very round, but lacked a little bit of acidity in my opinion. It was just a bit too juicy without enough structure there to give it the lift it needed. Today, a little bit of air, it's developed into a much better rounded wine. It's got a good amount of acidity now, and it lifts that fruit. It prevents it from being a bit too sweet. It's a very fruit forward wine without a great deal of influence from the oak, except from a real pepperiness. It's got a real peppery character to it right from the beginning, right through to the finish. It lasts all the way through the palate. It's really pleasant actually. It's quite lively and vibrant in the mouth because of that. It's a wine that's fairly simple. On the nose, it's got a few obvious notes, but no real depth of character, and that continues onto the palate there. It's juicy, fruity, ripe, round, a little bit jammy, with just enough acidity to really to get away with it, to be honest. The tannins are very light. I know this has got some Petit Verdot in the blend to add a bit of tannin. Possibly could do it a little bit more, in my opinion. It's pretty light on tannin. I'd like a little bit more. Contribute to a nicer texture of the wine. But overall, a very approachable, enjoyable wine just one that you shouldn't get too excited about. There's not much depth of character here, but a solid wine. So let me think on a score. So at $16, I think I was just expecting a little bit too much from this wine. That's an incredibly competitive price point. You've got things like the Francis Coppola Claret, for instance, which is a really well-rounded, quite complex wine for the price. And it's a wine I would pick any day of the week above this one. However, this has its place. It's enjoyable. I enjoyed this wine. It's not a bad wine. It just lacks a little bit of depth and complexity. It's fruity and approachable, very easy to drink, and the peppery quality to it was really nice. But it's not one that's going to linger long in the memory for me. It's one for people who are perhaps just starting their wine journey, want something very approachable and easy to drink. This is the kind of wine I would recommend. It's not that sweet, which is really good. That was my fear. So 6.5 out of 10, which is pass marks, but I guess it could do better. Yeah, just expecting a little bit more. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you'll consider giving this a thumbs up or even subscribing to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Well, we'll have another video coming up soon, and I hope you'll join me again. Goodbye.